I'm asking everyone to very soon mail or email your pledge to UUCC. The email address is uucc@uucolumbia.org. I'd also like in closing to share these words of inspiration by Laurel Sheridan. Take from life its coals, not its ashes. Fan the flames of love and justice. Join hands and hearts in common endeavor, and there will be no limit to what we can achieve together. And now I'll turn the service over to Anna Hamilton, Music Coordinator at UUCC.
Our opening song today is going to be one I came up with called Need a Hand. And for this song, I am going to ask you to give me a hand with a little bit of body percussion. Like usual, you're muted, but you can still participate along with my rhythm. So there's only 3 motions you'll need to be able to do. If you can tap your lap, clap your hands, snap your fingers, clap your hands. That's the 4-step pattern, and the rhythm goes like this. Jump in and join me whenever you feel you have the swing of it. If you need a hand, take mine. If you need a hand, take mine. If you need a hand, take mine. I'm holding it out to you. If you need a friend, look left. If you need a friend, look right. If you need a friend, swipe left. Your friends are here all around you. If you wanna cry, you can cry. If you wanna smile, you can smile. If you need to fall, you can fall. It's okay to be the true you. If you wanna help me, please share. If you wanna serve, please serve. The helper is helped by the helping too. Every one of you is needed here. Every one of you is needed here. Each and every one of you is needed here. You're valuable, special, we need you. If I need a hand, would you be there? If I need a hand, would you be there? If I need a hand, will you be there? I'm reaching to you, my friends. Thank you for your kindness, my friends. Thank you for your service, my friends. Thanks for your commitment, my friends. I'm so proud to be here with you. We call ourselves the you. Together we're gonna make it through. Me with you, with you, with you, with you, and you, and you.
All right, so let us read our congregational commitment. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Colombia. We are proud to be a part of a diverse and non-creedal religion. As a covenantal religion, we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. I just realized I forgot to introduce myself, but for those who don't know me, this is Emilio Perez. I'm the chair of the Leadership Development Committee. and I'm your worship leader, I guess, virtual worship leader today. So sorry for skipping that introduction. So let's go on with the rest of the introduction. As a welcoming UU congregation, we side with love, committing to embracing and promoting the worth and dignity of all people. Upon the completion of the service, we will remain online to allow our members and friends to engage in some social time. This actually is going to be a different type of social time, since we're going to have some breakout rooms where you can be asking questions from different committees, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the service. Thank you for joining this virtual service, and I hope everybody's staying safe. We're gonna light the chalice, and I think that was my or our job. So here's Nancy. We light this chalice, symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Its base represents our history and living tradition. The bowl includes all truth seekers and justice makers, and the flame provides the transformative power of love, a spirit of light and life. Come unto us.
Our opening hymn this morning is Find a Stillness. The words are based on a Transylvanian text, and the music is from a Transylvanian hymn tune. Lee Mingy of our partner church committee recommended this, and she shared with me that our Transylvanian pilgrims would sing this song in each Jolt-led service when they were in Bezerska. So I invite you to listen as I sing the first verse all the way through, and then join me as I repeat the first verse and go on to the second. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
All right. Hello again. I have some opening words in this week, which happens to be Volunteer Week. And we are here to talk about what people can do to volunteer and help the UUCC. So I was supposed to come up with an inspirational message to motivate you to give your time and talent to our UUCC. The request for your treasure, I will leave to the finance committee, which does a great job asking you for that. So I was thinking, what can I say to convince you that this is the year to serve and volunteer with your congregation? So I was thinking this, and I was thinking, if I only had a volunteer, speaking of volunteers, to help me with role play.
Oh, Emilio, pick me.
Well, okay, I guess that could work. All right. So Nancy, what have you done in the last few years for this congregation?
Okay, well, I come to church on Sundays. I go to the chili cook-off, to the pancake breakfasts, and I pay the youth to wash my car. And I also come to the cabaret and lots of other functions.
But Nancy, these are things that UUCC does for you, not things that you do for the UUCC.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you're right. I would like to support the community and volunteer on one of the committees so I can help sustain these activities that I enjoy so much.
Great. Then, speaking of that, you can join one or more of the breakout rooms after this Zoom call that will happen after we conclude our service, and you can talk to other volunteers that will be happy to get you involved in working towards common interest.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a great way to form new friendships, too.
So in summary, my friends and future volunteers, what can you do for this beloved community? Just get involved. Find ways in which your talent can be helpful to others. You can cook, you can set up tables, you can serve food during an event, use your writing or your math skills, help with the sound and the tech, clean up after a meeting, teach in CYRE, email or call people to check on them, greet people at the front door, give somebody a ride, sing, plant a tree, help clean up weeds from the garden, organize an event, join a committee or the board. The options are limitless. And don't forget to keep enjoying the chili, the pancakes, and the cabaret.
Thank you, Emilio and Nancy, for your dramatic invitation for us to think about the committee work. I appreciate you both investing your time and energy. And I know, especially Emilio, your energy is invested in so many other places right now. So just so appreciative of what you were giving us today. So just as we move to a time of candles of community, we didn't have any that were sent in per se, but Keitha from the Carrying Committee has expressed the desire to light one candle for actually the Carrying Committee members that are doing their support to our members and our friends and other community members. So we also in that want to give a special shout out and light a candle for Joan Watterson, who has been delivering meals from the Emergency Senior Nutrition Program whenever it's possible. And so it's amazing right now that during this time of crisis and isolation and job loss and disconnection for so many people, some are not able to work and some are working harder than they ever have in their lives during this time. It just depends on your profession at this point, really. But in the midst of all of that, so many people are stepping up to the plate. And so we are lighting some virtual candles for all the heroes out there today. And you know who they are. They've had their stories shared with you. Maybe you are one of those heroes. No doubt, as I look across the gallery of screen, I know we have so many faces that are the heroes of our city right now that are doing such great work. And this is just a reminder to, if you find yourself in need, please know that the Carrying Committee, the staff, and so many others are working so hard to try to meet the needs of those that are hurting in our community, that are needing something, needing connection, needing groceries, whatever it is that you might need. Please don't hesitate to reach out to the Carrying Committee or reach out to Andrea or myself with an email, and we'll make sure that we contact you and are able to meet those needs. So let's take a few minutes right now, and instead of a moment of silence, since really our candles today have been around celebrating our heroes, I would like to just give us a big round of applause for those, kind of a Zoom applause. So you gotta let your hands be seen. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. All right. As we move to our time for our offering, just a reminder that half of our cash this month goes to Mercy, and we've had Meryl that was on the call the first of the month and will, I believe, be returning to us next week to share a little bit about Mercy. So please keep that program in mind. You can contribute to Share the Plate. You can still mail your check to the church there, as you can see, and other ways that we are working on making financial contributions possible during this time of crisis right now. So I'm going to hand it over to Anna, who's going to introduce our music for today.
Our offertory music this morning is a beautiful composition by Rod Brown, and we'll be sharing a recording of it. In the recording, you'll hear Rod Brown as the guitarist and Micah Gangwer as the violinist. And I hope you enjoy this beautiful music.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful, Rod and Micah, for sharing that. That was intended to be a part of last week, so we were very glad to get it in to the service today. So thank you so much for sharing that. As we move into a time of a sermon this morning, I will tell you that I have two of my staff chaplains pastor AME churches, and said one of their biggest challenges as they've been doing Zoom calls is in an AME African Methodist Episcopal service. The challenge in the Zoom call is typically in a service there's a lot of talk back from the audience, and not being able to have that during this time, and asked me how I was coping with that. And I was like, man, it's been great to have everyone muted. So a little bit, I'm just kidding, just a little bit of different take on that. But it has been great to be able to connect with each other and to hear your voices. And I love both the beginning of the service when everybody's coming on, and you can just tell you've been away from seeing a lot of these people for a long time. And so to see a face on there, it just is so exciting to each of us. And then the social time afterwards is so great too. And so this is wonderful. It's not ideal. It's not the way we want to gather together as a community, but it has been great to have this opportunity and have this possibility for us through technology. So this morning, our focus has been on trying to create an opportunity for what we had planned on doing, which is a committee fair service, where we have a service that's really organized and orchestrated by the Leadership Development Committee and Emilio, and focused on how we can talk about the work that we do, particularly through the committee work that we do, and invite people to learn about committee work and figuring out ways to get involved in the UUCC, depending on where you are. Really kind of grounding this service, one of the quotes from Ben Franklin that I really value is he says that well done is better than well said. And I just think that's a great way of our understanding that behavior often speaks louder than words. Maybe as we like to say it here at the UUCC, that we focus on deeds, not creeds. It's not that we don't know what we believe. However, I do think that is a tough question sometimes that we hear. People walk up to us and they say, well, as a UU, what is it that you believe? What do you believe as a UU? And oftentimes our response to that question goes something like this, and you can tell me, you don't have to raise your hand if you're guilty of this, but you know who you are, we know who we are. So what person walks up and says, as a UU, what do you believe? And our response could be, believe? What's your frame of reference for that word believe? What are you implying with that? And why do you say you? Does that signify the singular you or the plural you of my church? And when you say do, are you implying something there? I don't understand your tone. And what do I believe? Why does it have to be a what? Why not a who or a how? You really could work on some sensitive language with your question words. And then you say you, and I'm not even sure what you mean by you. And at that point, the person just walks away frustrated, and we take a deep exhale of relief that we didn't have to try to explain our beliefs. So you know who you are if you're guilty of a conversation that looks something like that, and we can celebrate our ability to avoid the question. But actually, here at the UUCC, we do a great job of articulating what we believe. And mainly, we believe that every person, every individual in our congregation is empowered to embark on their own quest for truth and meaning. So as a congregation, then, we do everything we can to create a safe environment for that quest to be nurtured, and during that individual quest for truth and meaning, to connect to others in community who are like-minded on similar paths and believe in that kind of open, thoughtful approach to spirituality and faith. And then as a congregation, we become the mechanism, the hub of the work for how all of these beliefs and these values materialize into the choices that we make and the actions that we take. And that is what today is all about. It's about how we take our spirituality and what we believe, and we do more than just articulate it and talk about it. We actually allow it to stir us in a way that it impacts the choices that we make. It impacts the way that we live our lives. It impacts the way that we invest our resources. It impacts the way that we invest our energy and our creativity and our talent. It impacts the way that we put our passion in a certain direction. It impacts the way that our church, our congregation makes a difference in our community and our world around us. And we truly believe, and most of us I know as we gather on this call, we would not be gathering in this place if we did not think that what we were doing was making a difference. And sometimes it can feel like we are not. And this is a day to remind ourselves that what we are doing is making a difference. It may not always be seen. It may not always be felt and heard like the thunder and the lightning in the sky, but it is happening, and it is powerful, and it is wonderful what we're doing. So the invitation today is to figure out how to let your spirituality become practice, how to take what you believe and put it into action, how to take your energy and your passion and channel it in the direction where you can feel a sense of value and a sense of purpose and work with your life, and know that that energy and that passion is being invested in something greater than yourself, greater than some of the work around you that you can do as an individual when we gather together and do it as a community. So you may have energy and passion for sustaining learning and growth in adulthood. And if you do, the Adult RA Committee invites you in today. You may have energy and passion for maintaining our meeting space around us in a thoughtful and a responsible way, and the Building and the Grounds Committee invites you in. You may have energy and passion for participating in and shaping the music of our congregation, and Anna welcomes you into the work of music. You may have energy and passion for caring for the hurting and offering help to those who need a compassionate friend, and the Caring Committee invites you in. You may have energy and passion for how we use our resources, and the Finance Committee invites you to learn today how you can be appointed to that committee. You may have energy and passion for providing meals and hospitality at events, and the Kitchen Committee invites you in today. You may have energy and passion for providing learning and growth for our younger people, and the CYRE Committee invites you in today. You may have energy and passion for developing leaders, and the Leadership Development Committee invites you to learn how you can be appointed to this committee. You may have energy and passion for welcoming and connecting our members, both new and the seasoned members, and the Membership Committee invites you in today. You may have energy and passion for how we communicate our message and connect to the larger community, and the Publicity Committee invites you in today. You may have energy and passion for getting involved in social justice issues all around us, and the Social Action Committee invites you in today. You may have energy and passion for planning and implementing meaningful worship experiences, and the Worship Committee invites you in today. The invitations are there. We have so many opportunities for our spirituality to not just be something we believe, but be something we do, to let it be our spiritual practice. Well done is better than well said. As we bring back the screen, we have one piece of music, and then before we have our closing words, when we have our closing words and our music, I'll come back on and talk about how we're going to conduct our committee fair today. So Mark, can you bring our screen back up?
Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. of Spirit, harvest the power, our separate fire will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour, our trials in this fight appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in faith, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in faith, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Winter to spring, and summer to fall, the chorus resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in faith, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
All right, Nancy has our chalice there, so I'll read it. Nancy, if you will extinguish it. We extinguish this flame, committed to going forth, directing your time, your energy, and your gifts to a UUC committee as a way to get people connected to people, develop as a leader, and put your spirituality into practice until we are together again. All right.
I'd like to thank Karen Brown for sharing that wonderful Jim Scott Gather the Spirit video with me this week. Thanks, Karen. And I invite you now to join in singing our UUCC congregational benediction led today by Elizabeth Harris.
May the blessings of truth be upon us. May the flat power of love direct us, and may the peace of this community sustain us till we meet again.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was beautiful. As we get ready for our breakout rooms now, we're going to have the committee fair. And this is going to be an interesting